so bad right now for Hans.
And just a loose position because this queen protects the bishop. That may seem irrelevant, but if you ever want to play f6 and bring your queen over to the king side to help defend, your queen is actually doing an important job. Now, there is a threat here.
Yeah.
I see a fork. This knight will hit both rooks at the same time, so don't just play a3 thinking that little pawn is under attack. And look at Magnus.
Yeah.
Take this pawn. It's not relevant here.
He might even take, I was going to say, he might even take the exchange right now. I thought he might play rook c6 first, but the idea is sort of the same. Knight takes g7 and bishop f6 are threats on the board, everybody. Hans has less than 15 seconds. This is a one-sided game, as dominant as any we have seen in the first three. Magnus Carlsen is bringing the pain and bringing the house over here.
I think you could just take on g7 with his knight, but you do want to calculate. You just don't want to give away your pieces when you're up 2.5 minutes. So for Magnus Carlsen, he's in a dominant position. He's leading by 1 point, about to make that 2. But look at him, knight f6 with a fork. And if you take it, bishop takes, and the king is smothered in the corner. That's just a checkmate.
Well, queen h5 is coming next. We have more checkmate threats. Rook takes c6 might just be adding insult to injury. No, he doesn't even want it. I mean, that was a free piece. He'll probably take it after bishop takes f6 check. Hans made that move with 0.77.
Oh, I think it's quite clear that Hans's best chances are in the quicker time controls, but let's not forget that Magnus Carlsen is no slouch in bullet chess. So no matter what time control, it's going to be a problem. Magnus Carlsen wins by resignation. We have our first 2-game lead of the match.
It is a 2-game lead for Magnus Carlsen. They switch colors, and they're going to quickly do it again. What's going to happen?
He takes e4.
Oh, you can't do it. You take e4. Oh, wait. Hans is going for this forcing line. The queens are going to come off the board, or that white king might get in trouble.
Yeah, this queen is under attack. King takes f6. It looks like your king is out in the line of fire, but again, there's not enough pieces for white to attack this king. So this rook on 8's in trouble. Queen e6 is the move you want to play, but you drop the rook in the corner, so the d pawn runs up. But Danny, the black king, I see the evaluation bar all the way in black's favor, but it looks risky.
Oh, it's queen to d8, and the d pawn runs. Oh my God. I was like, what is the move that would win there? Magnus Carlsen tends to find them. Queen to d8, and that forces black to the defensive.
Oh.
And, okay, now it's like precision time. A second pass pawn. Oh, Magnus gives up the d pawn in the process, though.
Yeah, that's not the pawn you wanted to give up. And the rook d6, that's not heading in the right direction. You have to go after the black king. And, excuse me, that's a second queen, and white's first is gone. Yeah. That's a win for Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah. Queen to f3 was not ideal. Hans shakes his head. For a second there, I thought Hans was going to get it. I thought Magnus had maybe pushed too far, but the d-pawn does dirty work there. And
this is how drawn endgames are won. And for Magnus, he needs to use the clock as his best friend, but you can't just play for the clock purely, because then you may allow Hans to escape right away.
Completely agree. And again, no evidence of that. We don't know what's inside Magnus's head in terms of why he chose to go for the endgame. That's going to take a while to convert.
King f7?
King f7, you get out of checks, and you can't stop mate on h1.
Well, you can bring the king back, but I guess it's winning because the e-pawn now is too strong. The queen and the e-pawn are in perfect connection with one another.
No, but the king just hides.
Yeah, no, the white king will step back.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and then the e-pawn is too strong. Sorry.
Just go.
I thought, yeah, exactly. And here comes the e-pawn. By the way, the queen on the f-file is perfect.
Oh,
nasty. He doesn't even want to advance. I was going to say the queen on the f-file is perfect because she guarded f5, and there was no perpetuals, but Magnus shows that he wants more.